All right, we're joined by head coach Avery Johnson. We'll get an opening statement from coach and then get some questions after that. Coach.
Really proud of our guys. Terrific bounce back victory. Really exemplified the character of our team. I don't know if a lot of teams can come back and win after such a disappointing second half that we had in our last game at home. But to give our guys credit, they were subjected to some really hard practices over the last couple of days, and they responded. Obviously, Arizona was going to come back. They're a really good team. They got some good players and guys who know what they're doing on the floor. So they came back on us in the second half because we turned the ball over and didn't get shots at the basket and gave them some easy opportunities. But again, we held them off. We still got some work to do. We still got to continue to improve. But I'm really happy with our perseverance and tenacity and competitive spirit in this game today.
Thank you, coach. Just starting the back row here with Cecil.
Hey, Coach. First, could you give us an update on Dejan?
Dejan hurt his back going for a loose ball right near half court towards the end of the first half. He has a back contusion and back spasms, so he's going to be reevaluated on tomorrow. But hopefully with this 9-day break, we can get him back healthy.
Thank you, Coach. And you had talked last week in the press conference about guys taking responsibility. And how did you feel? Dante as a senior and then Kyra in the last 5 minutes of the game took their responsibility.
Yeah, I just think they made plays for us. We weren't going to drop our head. We told them that this was going to be a fight. And it's going to be a fight to the very end. It's kind of like, Deontay Wilder, right? They fought to the very end. And that's what we're going to have to do. That's what happens with really good basketball team. So it was just no excuses. They just played hard. We didn't drop our heads when something negative happened in the game, whether it was a turnover or a lack of boxing out, or we didn't play a post-defensive play right on Jeter, or we missed a pick and roll assignment on Luther. We just didn't drop our heads. We gave up a 3 at the end when we were up by 5, which I don't know what we were doing on that, and we talked about it. So we will shore up some things, but this looked like a much better Alabama basketball team today.
Marquise in the front row.
Coach, ever since the Wichita State game where Alex rescored 19 points, can you talk about his progression on offense and what he brings off the bench for you guys? Him having 15 points and also improving on the defensive end as well with 8 rebounds and 2 steals. Can you talk about Alex Reese?
You're right. It's a byproduct for hard work. This guy was relentless this summer. All right. Now the summer of his freshman year, he wasn't in the gym as much working out. And when we had practice, he just wasn't committed as much. But he's more committed, he's more mature, he mixes up his game. Last year, he was just kind of a 258-pound stretch 5, right? But now, he's 245 pounds, he looks better, he's fit. He's playing 4, he's playing 5, he's mixing up his game in the mid-range. He's very competitive on the defensive end. He doesn't get down on himself when a negative play happens. Last year it took him 5 trips up and down the floor to respond to a negative play. Now he just gets on to the next play, which shows some signs of growth.
Standing up, all in the back.
Coach, obviously a familiar face at the point guard position on Arizona. Justin Coleman, y'all were able defensively to kind of limit him, offensively to do some stuff. How were y'all able to do that? And what did you just kind of see out of Justin Coleman returning to Coleman?
Well, we wanted him to see 6 hands on defense, so 3 bodies, and those 3 bodies had to get their hands up because he's a pinpoint passer, especially with his left hand. We said we had to try to turn him over a little bit. Unfortunately, we did. And just try to make him play some defense. All really good players. We just don't want him to rest on defense. We want to try to keep him involved. And we got him involved a couple of times with Lewis late in the game, and that helped us out. But seemed like he had a great support tonight from our fans and from his family. And it's just great to see because he's an unbelievable young man. This kid is world class. great attitude, hard worker. He shows a lot of class on a daily basis.
Next question, all the way in the back again, standing up.
I know you said you got a 9-day layoff, but how big was it to have this scenario where you have a double-digit lead to go through it once again, and it's like back-to-back games to do it?
Yeah, in the perfect world, in fantasy land, we obviously would have wanted to beat Georgia State by 30, walk out of there with a win, come out and play Arizona, and win pretty handily. It doesn't work like that all the time. It's not really life. And it just shows that, we can hang in there with each other and don't give up on each other. And we didn't give up on our players. We didn't give up on ourselves. And it just shows that, we can come back and handle adversity and handle one of the most disappointing losses in our players' playing careers and our coaches' coaching careers. But, just got to keep pushing, man. Keep pushing forward. This season, we got a long way to go. And a lot of chapters left in the book.
Let's do a couple more questions. We're starting to right with Chris.
What did you see from Dante Hall during the last few minutes?
Just really active. Chase Jeter's a tough player. And that was a battle. But that offensive rebound dunk Dante got, that was perfect timing. He's working hard. We think since we've gone smaller to start games now, he doesn't have to play the 4 spot. He can actually play his position, so it's giving him more space. When you got Tevin Mack on the floor, if he's playing with Reese, playing with Kyra, he just has more space to roam and operate like he used to, and we think that's going to continue to benefit his game. But I like his focus, like his fight and defense, and 9 rebounds against a tough player inside. That was just what the doctor ordered for us.
Our last question will be from Reiner in the back row.
I guess Kyra scored 5 of the final 6 points, and are you surprised that he's able to show that kind of poise, that level of poise, at that kind of, crucial moments?
His teammates did a great job of setting screens for him, and they got in open space and made some really good plays. But he's just growing and developing, and he's just concerned about his final exams.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.